What is up, everyone? We have so many things to knock off the list. We gotta get them done. Today's Friday. We're gonna make it happen, but if you guys saw in the last video, well, we finally got an alternator on the JZ, on the Pro Car, which might not sound like the most incredible, exciting news, but it's exciting for us because now that is the last piece on the car, at least on the drivetrain, that we needed to actually get this thing dynoed and to get this thing tested, which is massive. Had to play a little bit of a musical accessories here. We had to wait a long time for the alternator, but it's all together. And now it can almost hit the dyno. We have to do a full check over, make sure everything works, get this thing on the ground, and we're gonna get this thing on the dyno, and we're gonna get this thing broken in. Make sure everything works, so when we finally get this thing up to max power, we know everything's safe and happy, and it's gonna work.
We spent a lot of time and a lot of money on this thing. We gotta make sure it's good.
Exactly, no time to waste here. On top of that, we have a lot of stuff going on. Trying to finalize as much on Jordy's car at the end of the week today, so next week would hit the ground running and get this thing. I wanna see this car move next week, that's my goal. So you guys saw in the last video, the boys finalized a bunch on the motor. I mean, it might be hard to tell how much more got done in video because it's all small bits, but almost everything line-wise is finalized, even from the power cables to the boost controller to the PCV to the water lines. It's really feeling like something. I don't know, this thing just gets cooler with each part on it. A lot of guys call this out because we have a big port head. It's a big juicy port. We got 3 fingers in that thing. It's a lot of fingers. So there's different port size engines, and well, it looks like we got an intake off of a smaller port engine. So if you look how puny the ports are here. This can't fit the 3 in there. This one's been around a lot less. So is that a bad thing? Yes and no, depending how you look at it, right? So is it worth trying to find a big port intake? Maybe, but for us, we have this one, and what I like about the small port design is, well, the air velocity is gonna be a lot more erratic, which means it might actually help promote low-end torque, which I think this engine's actually gonna need. It doesn't have VTC, doesn't have VVTi, it has, you know, small displacement, so whatever we can do to promote torque, the better, so this might actually work for us. But that being said, that makes the transition between the intake and the head actually not very ideal. We marked it out, and Spoon's hitting this thing up with the carbide and just trying to blend it. So we have a nice fluid path for air. So is it worth it? Who knows, but why not, right? We should get a big port though and test it. I'm really curious. Obviously a lot of guys are like, oh, big port makes more power. Yeah, because when you get into the high end power, the high velocities, yes, these runners can become a restriction, or it might be a really nice trade-off of top end power for torque. It all adds up. With the drift car, we want it a little bit punchy, especially for a little 4-cylinder like this. Fresh motor, which means, well, it's gonna get a couple oil changes before it even sees the track. So it's still on the braking oil. We've had quite a bit of runtime on this engine with just idling, you know, hunting the RPM, driving around the parking lot and such. So we're gonna get oil change before we get this thing actually getting some abuse on the dyno. Obviously, we want to see some clean oil. Looks pretty clean to me. You know, with fresh engines, you'll see a little bit of stuff, right? If everything's brand new, stuff does kind of wear in a little bit, and like you'll get debris in it from it just being open in the shop no matter how hard you do it, so don't freak out too much. That's why you do a brake and oil procedure. Get all that junk out. I think I can remove an oil filter without getting covered in oil. Actually, the Chase Bays oil filter, like sandwich plate, makes it a lot easier. They sell a tool for this. There we go. But when you cut open an oil filter, especially if it's like the first oil filter, sometimes I don't like doing this because there's always stuff in it. It's gonna freak you out. Brand new head, brand new cams, brand new oil pump, fully machined bottom end. That was clearance for a stroker. So you're gonna get stuff in here, but you just wanna make sure you don't have an excessive amount of big stuff, right? You can usually pull it open. So it's gonna run through this side so you can see all like the just dirt and debris in there. I don't care how white glove your operation is, it just, stuff gets in there, dude. That's just the whole, I mean, that's the whole point of an oil filter, right? So you'll see blood. If you're seeing big chunks of aluminum or like bearing material, you're gonna have an issue, but we don't. Look at this. This is just good old fashioned new engine stuff, so that's good to see. OEM, baby. And of course, Eneos oil, using all the cars. Does this really well.
Why are you using a funnel?
Yeah, I'm too tired to clean up a potential mess right now. My ass is still so kicked from final though. All right, do we have a working alternator for the first time? Survey says. We have an alternator! We have every system now. We have every system. That might sound like super like remedial and like whatever, but every system on this car we have, and it's all badass shit. This feels good.
That thing sounds crazy.
That's what your car's gonna sound like, right?
Yeah, imagine.
Sick. It's the first time it actually feels like a car, like a real car. Everything works. Oh man. You think you can reach the pedals? When you put it in the gear, make sure you don't, you know.
All I want to feel is the dunk. That was so sick. Shut my door, come on. I gotta go win.
Got a really easy clutch, so if he stalls, it's on him. God, it's a fucking race car. Come on, Jordy. He's footing it. It's crazy how small that thing looks with no body panels on, but then when you put the body panels on, the car looks huge.
Yeah, it literally grows twice the size.
Twice the size. Look at that fucking thing. Oh, it's so fucking cool. So badass, dude. What a machine, man. You feel like a man?
That got me bricked up.
That line, dude, like.
Yeah. I get the hype now. Drive it. Come
now
on,
you need
do
a pro car.
Drive it. Come on, drive it. I want to see your face when you throw it in.
Man, this is a big moment.
This feels crazy. This is huge. All right, so we're not ready to send this thing to the moon, right? We gotta get this thing tuned up. We need it at a wide range of power levels, depending on the track conditions, the track, the tire, whatever. But we need to obviously see what it can do. But today, what I wanna do, since I have a dyno, I wanna get this thing, not only break the engine a little bit more, get this thing on some load, get it on some decel, but I also wanna make sure everything works, because the first time you put a car on the dyno, it's the first time you're seeing everything get some abuse. And so that's when you're gonna find, oh, maybe this hose is a little crooked, you know, maybe the clamp's not right, maybe one of the lines aren't, whatever, or gasket's leaking. It's nice if you can go to the full dyno session fully prepared, so then it's a quick, easy process, and this will allow me to get all my baselines in order. And then when it comes to the final tune, it'll be quick, and we can get right to making all the jam and be totally confident in it, right? Kind of nice, like having a dyno at disposal is very nice in this situation. Plus, I think we're all dying to hear this thing under some load.
Stop, no paparazzi, please.
You gotta clean that shit. You gotta get all that metal out.
I made a mistake and I used acid-based cleaner on it, and it left streaks, so I'd get the streaks out. Tell me you're dumb without telling me you're dumb. Anthony's judging me heavy right now.
I don't know what you guys talking about, but yeah.
But yeah, I am. Show me those ports. How do they look now? Hang on. They look reamed. Damn, okay.
High flow only. I just spit everywhere.
Damn, look at that thing all cleaned up. Got the rail back on. Gasket on. It's going on for good now, right?
It's that time, dude.
For good.
For good. Feels amazing. My heart is happy.
Fresh new hardware. Jordy, you're fancy.
Alright boys, we're gonna do a little bit of tip-ins, try to get some more heat in the engine, try to get some more, we're gonna get a little bit of load in the engine, and we're gonna decel it. So the rings can get pushed down, the rings get pulled up. We'll do that a couple times. It'll also help me get a better idea of the fueling, and then we can try and do a pull. I am honestly just dying to see the boost spool characteristics of this, because we have EFR twin scroll manifolds with a 3.4. Like, this thing should hit really hard, and that's what we want, so we're gonna find out today. Must be the heat wrap burning off for the first. That's the first time the exhaust actually got some heat in it. So we also don't have the lines in our catch can. We ordered them last night, they didn't show up. But so you're gonna see a little bit of huffing from the valve cover since we don't have it going to the catch can right now. But it sounds incredible, and it's like, just when I get on throttle, it's just like, hello. I think we got a good baseline. We got quite a bit of ramps in it. I think we got a good baseline here, enough to kind of hopefully get successfully through a pull. We're on gate. I think gate, Spoon, we do 14 PSI on gate? I don't remember, it's been a minute. Yeah, so we'll find out. I have all our safety parameters in set, some baseline fueling, some baseline timing, and we're gonna see how this thing hits for the first time. All right, let's do it.
Come on, run it up.
Come on, hurry up. Look at why he's tuning this. I could have done it.
Yeah, this should have been the car that you learned on, right?
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
We could have taken care of this.
For sure. I would have remoted in Freddie. That sounded way crazier for the number. Yeah, that was crazy.
Holy shit. Did it just spin?
I think it did.
I think it just, did it spin? Shit just happened. I felt the whole car like, "Arr."
How crazy that sounded, that number did not reflect.
No. I mean, it was coming in hard, so we only made like 12 PSI, and then it kind of ramped down to, so we made 13 PSI, and it slowly ramped down to like 11 PSI. So either the clutch was slipping or the wheels were spinning. I mean, it made good power on the motor. Yeah, either clutch slipped. I don't think the clutch slipped. Like it felt.
More than likely it spun.
Yeah, because it felt like, you know what I mean? Everything looked good on my end, so I'm not super upset about that. I'm not super far off target, so. Did it sound as ridiculous on the outside of the car?
Yes.
Okay, I'm happy with consensus here. Dude, that was terrifying. Like, usually I'm not scared, like usually I don't care, but that was terrifying.
Yeah, there's a lot of work into this car.
I know. A lot of man hours in this thing. A lot of money. A lot of money. Let's go again.
So cool.
We lost like a PSI and a half on boost, probably because it wasn't loaded up as hard, so we lost a little bit of torque, but I think we're spinning on the dyno because I'm pretty confident it's not clutch, and you could tell it's not putting the power down. Like the tires are super hot back there and there's rubber everywhere, so I mean this is why a lot of people like using hub dynos on higher horsepower cars. So I mean, everything looks really good on the computer, so I'm really happy about that. We're not leaking anything, nothing's smoking. All the numbers check out, oil pressure's good, everything's responding great, so this is kind of exactly what we wanted to see. Does it look like it's spinning?
I tried to look for smoke. I didn't
No,
see it smoking.
It's not.
But I don't smell clutch either.
I don't smell clutch. I'm very confident it's not clutch, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's only 10 PSI, so it's like, what are we gonna get out of that, you know? So let's ramp, I guess. Let's do it. Okay, let's do another pull to make sure this is clean, happy, and safe, and then we'll maybe just see if we can put some more boost in it and see what she does. So that was definitely a clean pull. There's no spinning, nothing wild. The numbers were all clean. But the torque is falling off pretty dramatically, especially for only revving it up to 7,200 RPM. So it does produce a surplus of torque. So we got to figure out why it is falling off, you know. It's only making like 10 PSI, so I don't really see it being much of a flow restriction. So maybe we might have to degree a cam or something, because that definitely hits. That hits beautifully, but it just doesn't carry it out like it should. If we were at like 25 PSI and then we saw it kind of tank off at the end, maybe, because we are in a 3.4, but that is a little dramatic of a fall off.
That's fucking so sick. That number is not right. Holy shit. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's what this should make. What the fuck?
Dual cannons on that thing. I didn't realize it was spitting flames like that.
Nuts.
We're gonna ruin the pavement at tracks, just like. All right, so kind of figured out just a little bit. So if you look at it now, look at the torque curve. It's not falling off super hard, right? This makes a little bit of sense for the couple PSI that's actually dropping, because each PSI dropping, we should probably lose like 30 horse-ish. You could try and use the boost control to try and flatten the boost curve, which would make this more flat. What I did notice, what I think the issue was, I looked and the ECU had the frequency set wrong on the VVTi gear, which was actually causing the VVTi gear to be a little intermittent and erratic. So it was actually degreeing the cam farther than commanded at the wrong time, right? The VVTi degrees the cam to peak efficiency down low, right, to help spool this thing up. But as you get higher in the RPM, you want to add that cam degree back in, or else it's going to be hindering the power band up top, and that's what it was doing. So reeled that back, got the right frequency in it, VVTi curve got clean, and the torque curve got flatter. So this is good. Everything's actually looking pretty damn good. So at, you know, basically it's like 11.5, 12 PSI, it's making 400 horsepower. It's pretty damn good. We have a lot to go from here, but I'm just so thankful everything's working out. I mean, I kind of want to turn the boost up.
I'm not gonna say no to that.
I know. I don't want to go too crazy until we get on the hub dyno, but like, I think we just want to hear it.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Convinced. Like, see what happens. Made like a PSI and a half more everywhere, which is good. Tune looks great. Let's add more.
Holy shit!
God damn!
It literally feels like that shit's punching you in the chest.
Yeah, that limiter is nuts with the gate. I wonder if it'll get louder with the ground being closer, you know what I mean? That's sick. That was nice because that was a very flat boost curve. 1 bar, so 14 PSI flat.
How much boost is this thing gonna run like at full tilt? Like,
I don't know.
Like at a normal time?
We'll use the back pressure sensor and we'll use the turbo speed sensor to kind of pick our ceiling because once we create too much back pressure, there's going to get to a point where just cramming more air in the engine's not going to do anything for us. And then if we're over spinning the turbo, then we put the turbo in a dangerous place, and that will tell us where the turbo's not really going to live or be efficient, right? We need to make sure this thing lives because the engine can kind of handle all of it. Like we built the short block's good for double this turbo, you know what I mean? So really the limiting factor is the turbo, and that's why we had the back pressure sensor and the turbo speed sensor to find that ceiling.
So we're gonna max the turbo out and then probably back it off a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah. That camera angle's sick. I hope it's not blowing the mic out.
I shut the camera off for a second and just went full tuner brain and just hyper focus, and I've gotten it a lot better. So this is at 18 PSI. The power is holding pretty damn good. We at 18 PSI we're making 560, 535, and that seems pretty realistic for our setup. Now the only downfall is I realized I did probably spec my turbo a little bit on the smaller side. This is probably why we're rolling over so hard with the 3.4. Me realizing I kind of spec the turbo out for a 3 liter, whatever. So we're gonna see what we can get out of this thing. We're here, everything looks really good. We're gonna see probably very similar trends as we increase. This might start to fall off a little bit harder, but we gotta see what we can do. So, I mean, it looks like we've hit a little limitation here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna max out the gates and see what we get out of it. We're treating this as a diag session in a sense. So we definitely need bigger gate springs, but let's see what we can do on the 14 that we have, or I guess they're probably 12 PSI. This is gonna max the gates out just to see what we can get on this setup right here. Dude, we maxed the turbo out already.
Really?
Yeah, we maxed the turbo out, which is crazy to me. Guess I bought too small of a turbo. Jesus Christ. Weekend time, I'm getting this thing dialed in. So, right now, gates maxed out. We made about 24 PSI, falling off to about 21 PSI, and the graph is actually starting to look pretty good. Very happy with this. A little bit of fine tuning on this, had to turn my brain on, and the curve looks amazing. Now, this is only revving to 7,200 RPM. I knew we would get to a point where we're kind of gonna choke up the engine, right? I went undersized on the turbo. I could go bigger on the exhaust housing. JZs, they want to float, and this is a 3.4, a lot of displacement, so it all makes sense. But right here, I'm stoked with this. The only problem is we're not making enough power. 573, 530 just isn't gonna cut it. So I just chucked bigger gate springs in it, and let's see if we get this boost up. I want this thing to make 700. See if we can make 28 PSI, that's the goal. I got the turbo speed sensor working, so that might be our limitation. We can't let this turbo spin past like 125,000 RPM, because that's when we put it in the territory of not gonna live and might explode the turbo. So we'll see what we reach first, our power goal, our choke point, or the turbo speed limit. I decided to do a boost leak test on the car this morning, and guess what? Found something pretty big, pretty rookie here, and that is the built-in blow-off valve. So the EFRs have a built-in blow-off valve. This is a Turbo Smart added blow-off valve, and we didn't have a vacuum line on it, which allowed the blow-off valve to actually open under boost, which is a huge vacuum leak. So here's the goal, right? I want to make at least 700 horsepower. Yesterday we made just about 600, 590, and that's at like 25, 26 PSI peak, falling to 21 with a massive boost leak. If I can get this thing to make just over 7 without it falling off super hard and the turbo is not spinning super fast, it's enough that we can actually get the car tested and use it and start competing in it. And then next year, if we can get to a high level competition, we could change the turbo setup and make that higher peak power that we need. So that was a huge vacuum leak I looked over. Fingers crossed, boys. All right, so that time we made 26 PSI, which is the same peak, but it held it at 25 versus actually falling off, and we have more duty cycle in the boost controller, which is good. So that being said, if you look, this was 26 PSI with the boost leak. This was 26 PSI without the boost leak, and look at it. Look how much more power it gained. And the spool was a lot more aggressive too, which is huge. I mean, we picked up 50 horsepower and a bunch more torque, like way more torque, big ass boost leak. So, but now that it's making more power and pushing more air through it, we could tell that the turbo is just too small, which we knew. You could see it fall off super hard. I was hoping it would hold torque a little bit better than this. So we're kind of in that range where it's like a fine line. If I go up in the hot side on the turbo, it might give us a little bit more room to work with, but it's in that range of, do I just swap the turbo now or try and make this one work? So that's 640 horsepower. I don't know if we're gonna hit the 700. Let's try to make this thing a little more efficient and see if we could just get the 7. If we can get the 7, I'll test the car before we change the turbo and do all this crazy stuff. So. Boys, I think we did it by the skin of our teeth. That last pull, it made 737 and 631 foot-pounds of torque. We got over the 700 mark. The turbo is definitely on the small side. I kind of spec'd the turbo out as if it was a 3-liter, not a 3.4. So shame on me. It is what it is. I'm new to the EFR series. You'll learn. So that being said, we're in that power range where I think I'm gonna leave it in the meantime to at least test the car and get it sorted and decide if we need that bigger turbo side. I mean, this will, at this power level, we should be able to compete in the Pro-Am events and not really even be super hindered. I don't think so. To finish off the session, I sent my tune and my final log file off to Freddie to see if he could squeeze a little more horse puppies out of this thing. He says he thinks he could probably get it to fall off a little less hard than that, which would be ideal, because right now that was spinning to 8, which isn't bad. Spinning 8,000 RPM is huge. Like the difference between like 7,400 and 8,000 is so much wheel speed. It really makes the whole drifting experience a lot better. It makes your power band longer. So I mean, it looks pretty damn good. I'm not mad about it. I think we might get lucky here. I think it might just be enough.
You're breaking records over here?
Trying to. I want to make more, but I bought the wrong turbo. Tisk.
No way.
Yeah, I bought one size too small.
The one you were so hyped on and it was gonna work. It happened. He was so excited when he got that turbo. He's like,
Still good power. 740.
wow. You want a little more?
I'd like 800.
That'd be a cool number.
I'd like 800 with some headroom. You know what I mean? I could probably get another 30 horsepower to this, and that's about it. I feel uncomfortable with the setup.
Gotta do the old add to cart.
Add the cart, yeah. I'm sick of playing that game. Learning is expensive. I always say it. We got the thumbs up from Freddie. So Freddie went through my map and log for me. So thank you so much, Freddie. Basically, we're there. He's giving me the thumbs up that we're there on power. We could put a couple more PSI in the engine if we want to get a little more peak power, which I honestly might just to have it there just in case for the option. But unfortunately, of course, as it rolls over, we can't do much about this. This is what we expected, right? It's a lot of displacement. It's a small turbo. There's back pressure. The engine just can't flow the air as much as it wants to because it's trying to cram all this air into a little turbo. And so really, if we could put probably bigger cams in it, it might give us a little bit more in this range. Or the next step is just to throw in the next size turbo, which is fine. But I think for now, at this 740, we'll say 750 horsepower range, this is enough that we can get the car on track and we can start using it, which is huge. And then we'll start planning for next year to make that higher peak power that we might actually need. So turn into just like making sure everything works to just fully tuning this thing. I'm not mad about this. So I'd say we max it out. I'm saying 750 because I could turn up the PSI 1 and make 750. And we have a pretty large power band. I have the thing revving to 8, which is huge. That gives us a lot of wheel speed to work with. I think it's time to get the car off the dyno, get the harnesses in, finalize a couple small things, get it aligned, get some good tires on this thing, and finally go test it, which is huge. The car sounds happy, everything's working great. I couldn't be more excited. We didn't get that 900,000 horsepower that we'll probably clickbait the video with, but we maxed it out. We got that 750, we got a strong 750, and now we could use the damn car. Now, since we have a baseline, we know what we have to do to get even more power out of this setup. But for now, I'm hyped, and you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. We'll see you guys very shortly.